Hey there, my name is Pravus, and welcome to more Hearts of Iron 4 No Step Back, currently playing as the Soviet Union, though not for much longer because we will soon be triggering a civil war and going for that Romanovs' last laugh achievement. Stage 1 of our master plan has been completed. We have conquered Turkey, and also Romania as a bonus. So now we move on to Stage 2, which is win the civil war and take over the rest of Russia. This is going to be a bit tricky, but we're getting close. I mean, I've got a pretty decent amount of territory under my control. Honestly, the rest is kind of superfluous at this point. It's about having as many factories as possible and just kind of having good, clean borders that I can easily defend. That's the real kicker right now. While we continue working on upgrading things like some railroads and stuff, which, by the way, how are we looking on railroads? Should be level 3 kind of across the board here. I think I'm going to be able to upgrade these to level 3 as well, if we want. And the reason for that being, as we follow along this, just having more supply means I can continue sustaining the line a little bit, and it wouldn't take that long to upgrade, so we'll try working on that, though it's not the absolute top priority. Regardless, let's keep Stalin's paranoia under control and keep getting as many of these little territories as we can. I am placing down some cavalry where we can, here and there. Extra units are nice, but also place them in positions where they can quickly just sweep through and clear out whatever territory is over here is just helpful. The real downside to getting more cavalry is not the loss of command power, it's the increase of paranoia by 5. Ooh! We have anarchists! How fun. The eye sphere is done. Okay, so good. We now have only one focus left in order to start the Civil War. Whether I want that or not is another question. I'm going to go ahead and pick up Article 124, which is going to start reducing the communism support. What's our support currently look like? About 29% across the board. Once we pick up the next, what's it called? The hands do focus, we'll jump up to about 40% of the army will join us. That's pretty good. And then every little one of these that I pick up can help speed that up a little bit too. So we're not ready to start this civil war. Not yet. There is more that I can gain, and I'd like to get it. Also, I love seeing things like the Second Moscow Trial burning down that political paranoia even further. That's awesome. Thank you. Yes, Stalin, by all means, keep purging your only competent officers. I'm sure that's not going to go badly for you at all. Did we finish with this? We did. Let's go ahead and pick up another territory like so. More cavalry? Yeah, probably. Let me think. We're going to pick some up over here. I want someone who can run in over here and grab this real quick. I mean, we could stabilize this, but this is a very small state. It's only got 3 territories. Very easy for me to send a cavalry over here and just conquer real quick. So why waste the political power? I'd rather go ahead and shore up my center and then push off to the left. Now, you may notice a few little icons here where Stalin is actively trying to shore up support in a few areas. So some of these states, at some point, he's going to kind of have me walled off and unable to continue progressing. That will eventually happen. I don't mind that. In fact, I don't even mind him taking places like this. This is just stuff that he's going to have a hard time defending. So doesn't matter to me too much. Just be aware of it. Watch for it. In the meantime, my armies should all continue training a little bit. Go ahead and get themselves back up to being regulars. Most of them should already be there, honestly. They are actually all already there. Perfect. So we can't get a whole lot more army experience. Normally, instead of going for the partial... Oh, wow, we have no equipment. Normally, instead of going for the partial mobilization that I did, I would instead have gone for an officer to try getting out some extra experience, which would have been really nice. I'm not convinced that we took the right call going for the partial mobilization, because normally by now I'd have more like 200 army experience. So I could start working on doctrines. At the same time, I don't have to work on doctrines. We can. You know, we'll do some, but we don't need to. I really want to get this superior firepower. Superior firepower, as far as I can tell, is still easily king in this expansion. It's still better than mass assault, even though mass assault is actually pretty good at the end of the day. Mass assault's not bad, but yeah. Conspiracy among civil servants. Okay, now we lose some political power gain, so that's unfortunate, but oh well. We'll live with it. Let's start getting some extra cavalry wherever we can in a few little areas here and there. Just watch that political paranoia. If it's looking like the paranoia is too high, don't worry about it. Just stop getting cavalry and you'll be fine. All right, let's go ahead and snag this. That should actually more or less be all of the territory I care about. That's kind of nice. Sure, let's just go ahead and plan on getting a little bit more cavalry in a few spots. 68% political paranoia. An annex war goal against Communist China is fine. Not that I really need to do anything with it, but there we go. I don't really care about any of those. When the Civil War does begin, by the way, you still can offer to sell some stuff in exchange for support. So we'll be able to do that. But I don't want to. We could, though. Somebody has been accused. Let's see. Reduce paranoia. That's a lot of important generals to lose, but I'm going to lose all of them anyway, and we've already won our war, so at this point, I guess we can just go ahead and remove a lot of Stalin's best generals. Say goodbye. And that keeps that political paranoia under control, which gives me more time to continue doing what I want to do, which is continue grabbing more territory. All right, so they just secured another territory right over here. That's fine. Tolkachi is mine. Excellent. Let's see. Boo, 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 boo. Do we go for this right now? 35 days. His paranoia is at 70. It's probably time to go for this. We're probably about as ready as I'm going to get. We'll try taking a little bit more territory, but much more, and it's going to be too much. We'll get to 44% of the army joining, plus all the events giving me extra units. I'll actually have a pretty even force compared to Stalin. That's pretty solid. Now my question is, where do we want to have our next round of territory? Probably down over in this general direction. This would cut these guys off, at least. I could take this, I suppose. If I push over here, though, I control even more of the railroad. So, I mean... there's something to be said about taking this. We're going to try for it. That does push his political paranoia up to 80, so we do not have a lot of time. We've got a couple of weeks, basically. There we go. One more purge is what we were looking for. That should buy me enough time, as long as we don't keep clicking buttons, in order to get up to the hands due and start the Civil War. Should be enough. Barely. Do I want to get more cavalry and take a risk, though? I need as much cavalry as possible, don't I? Bring it up to 78. Here's hoping we get another paranoia event. I mean, we're only 20 days away. Right now, he will just get to 90 by the time that the war automatically starts. Let's pray this doesn't go back against me. We have to successfully finish that focus. We have to finish that focus. He's at 89%. 89. A purge! Yes! All right, now we got plenty of time. Plenty of time. Nothing to worry about. Nothing at all. We're just going to go ahead and get more cavalry then. Why not? We're completely secure. Nothing to worry about. No need to waste any more political power taking more territory, by the way, because it's not going to matter in a minute. Because this stuff's not going to finish in time. Though, if we can get one more cavalry just before this ends, we would. Nope, never mind. It happens tomorrow. Okay, time for a civil war, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. To arms, my men! And so, once the game recalculates, there it is. The war begins. All right. So we are the provisional Russian government. Fear me, Soviet Union. Fear me. Now I need to reorganize my forces. Give me 1 minute to get everyone in position. Okay, we've got all of our armies. Now we're going to start moving them into position. It's going to take a little while for them to strategically redeploy, but hopefully they are going to do so nice and quick. Get up to this position, because now, in order to win this war, our goal is to follow the railroads as aggressively as we can, snag these super crucial supply hubs, and deny the Soviets any supply in the far north and in the far south around, what is this, Uzbekistan and such. So deny them any of these supplies, and what we're going to do is ignore defenses along these areas. I want the Soviets to send troops over here, but they're not going to feel comfortable moving forward because they're going to have garbage supply. All we need to do is use our defensive infantry to hold the north and the south of this push, defend the railroads at all costs, while my offensive armies, including, by the way, a load of cavalry and only a handful of tanks, and push aggressively along the railroads. That is going to be the goal. Let's see what ends up happening with that. These two are going to get bypassed, so we're not going to keep these two focuses in a little bit. We could start working on things like call for aid, which is going to let the Germans, Italians, and Japanese send me reinforcements. I'm not sure if they're going to. I'm not sure if I even really care at the end of the day. Sabotage them. I mean, meh. What this is really good for is making enemy units suffer lack of organization, and I think that getting some extra factory output pretty early on is actually pretty helpful. We'll take that right now. I need military factories. I have nothing. After that, though, we have to start working on things like strengthening the mobilization plan and start speeding up our units, get more manpower, and actually get them more organization. Because we need every bit of a combat boost that we are able to get at this point. All right, so let's go ahead and unpause. We're going to let people start moving. There's the Second Russian Civil War. And off they go. These two are bypassed. Yup, that was to be expected. We can go for a few boosts on some folks. I'm going to go ahead and pick up organization, or offensive doctrine, so we don't lose as much organization as we move. And you guys, I guess, will go ahead and take defensive doctrine, though it doesn't matter that much. You guys, honestly, cavalry expert kind of works on Semyonov because he's a really good cavalry leader already. Recruits are ready. All right, so now we start getting some free units. This will be fun. So they pop up in a few areas. Hello. You popped up over Myaw. That's great. So a bunch of units are going to pop up behind enemy front lines, which is hilarious. It doesn't do much. They're going to respond by quickly sending these guys to go and attack me. But what I'm going to do is just send these guys to be annoying. I'm going to send them to quickly just cause issues, snagging some important trade hubs, and causing pain. That's all that I care about. In fact, if we can just have them go on wild goose chases and lose all their supply, that's just the way to go. So we're going to try that. Let's see what ends up happening with them. We'll get another round of partisans in a minute. And the reason that I think that the developers included this is really just to give you more time to actually get your troops in position. Otherwise, the Civil War will be over pretty much as soon as it begins. The Soviets would just send everything they've got after you, and that's it. We got a bunch of free infantry units. Dude, me likey. These guys aren't even behind enemy front lines. This is great. That's a lot of free recruits. All right, it should be just these guys left. Yeah, we're not going to assign them to an army because they're going to die. Those guys are giving their lives to the cause. No other way to see it. All right, so take a look at the railroad. What we're going to do with you then is go ahead and start making our push right now before they have a chance of getting many of their troops in position. And let's see what happens. Get these supply hubs. Now, a fun fact... Oh, partisans have joined as well. Fun fact about this war as we make our push. What's going to happen is as we take some key trade hubs, supply hubs, as well as victory points, the Soviets are going to lose morale. They're going to have people desert, joining our side, giving us free generals as well as units. We're going to get more equipment. They're going to go lose their surrender limit. Like, a lot of things start to happen the more we do this. Like, we love this. Actually, I really love seeing that we just took this railroad and just giving them a lot of pain. Let's start getting down over here then and see if we can make our way over here somehow. What other partisans we got? We should have a few. Not many partisans, believe it or not. Oh, never mind. We got a few in Turkey. Cool. Go to Istanbul. Why not? You guys work up here toward Ankara. And what this is going to do is just force the Soviets to have to turn around and head over here rather than send everything they've got to the front line. We're going to have extremely low organization as we initially get in here, but that's fine. Let's see if we can use you to actually just sneak around these guys. He's trying to get up to this railroad over that way, but that's fine. We'll let him go, and then we'll pop in. Okay, he's got more units. There we go. Move there. Okay. These cavalry, go ahead and start moving. Anyway, yeah, so taking over victory points and stuff is really important. It gives you more gas to sustain the war. You really want to do that. And I love that we're just snagging some of these victory points and just being super annoying here. This is hilarious to me. I mean, if we could get to, like, Kiev and stuff, that'd be great. There we go. Took that. Have fun. Sure, take the railroads up to Kiev. Now, these guys are going to die. Saw that coming, but that's fine. All right, Japan declares war. This is no longer a good place to go. We'll hold off there. He's going to be trying to push me over here, but we got units on the way. We're going to get more free units in time, too, by the way. Don't think that this is the end, because it ain't. China joins the Allies. That's unexpected. German-Soviet treaty. You know, surprisingly, they consider me to be the legitimate Russian government. I'll take that. Sure. Okay, let's go ahead and move you here, because I want to hold on to this ground. We'll just get some reinforcements in position. Oh, we did not get very far there. All right. It's fine. We're still waiting on our reinforcements. My cavalry aren't exactly the best defensive troops for now. They literally are going to exist for the purpose of exploiting breakthrough opportunities. That's all I care about. Now, one thing we're going to have an issue with, you notice we have no fuel. Like, none. So my tanks are going to be having a lot of problems in the near future. Let's go ahead and try trading for at least a bit. Let's say with Iran. We need some oil to sustain my tanks. We've also lost, like, all of our factories. So we're going to try to keep things like support equipment alive. I'm going to have, like, no trucks or fighters or anything. Speaking of fighters, do I have an anti-air force? I got a few planes over here. It's not much, but it is what it is. We'll go ahead and assign them to follow these guys along and do whatever they can. And I assume I can't create any more task forces. We can increase you up, I guess. Yeah, we'll go for some air superiority wherever possible. But yeah, not much to work with there. These guys are marching around over here. We've almost got this back under control. These guys, for some reason, are extremely slow, but that's what happens when there's no railroads. You don't move very fast. All right. Good. This is where I start to get a little scared, because it's going to be difficult to win this war as is. I don't think I need to worry about getting any of these upgrades right now. What I do need is to push along the railroad like this. So we'll push this guy right on out. I'm going to pin you so you can't go anywhere for a minute while I get in position. We'll entrench. There's that. Some mountaineers are not going to be great, but there's something. You counterattack this guy since he's decided to be a fool. And that means now I can exploit this and work my way up here. Take this trade hub, and all of these guys lose their supply. They won't push if they have no supply. I should also mention, something that's going to happen, is as the Soviets start getting more and more unstable... Hey, a defection. There you go. Something that's going to happen is other nations are going to have their own nationalistic wars and try to break free. Let's go to Minsk. Let's see what we can do there. So we're going to have people like Uzbekistan and Turkmenistan and Armenia and so on all try to break free and start their own wars, which I can then fight over if I want. So where's all the free units I just got? Here they are. You join up over against these guys, I guess. I need more offensive pushing units. That's all I got? One guy? Nope. We got some cavalry and stuff. Okay. Oh, we got a tank. Hello. If I can tighten up this line a little bit, I will. Shang-Chi joins the Allies. So does this mean that the Allies are going to be getting involved against Japan, like, really early on? Because that's kind of what I'm getting out of that. That's interesting, if so. All right, the tanks are going to help a lot here, as long as we have some fuel, which I do. Okay, these guys are going to lose most of their organization. Now is the time to go ahead and do a counterattack push. Send in the cavalry to assist. Okay. Have you guys push along here. Tanks are getting back into position. Here we go. I need a lot of forces here. Fall of Hong Kong, that's fine. Let's get some reinforcing cavalry to get the flanking bonuses over here so we can get even more. Now, how to push here. Tank. Mountaineers. Tank here is in a bad spot. We need to pull these guys back again along the railroads. And let the infantry hold that ground. Push here with the cavalry. Here we go. Okay, make another push. A defection. There we go. Use these guys to pin them down so they don't go anywhere. So I just got even more free units. And that's all we got. Just a couple more units. That's fine. Hey, did we finish conquering all of this? We are about to. One more going in over here. This cavalry can go join up over here. Okay, we're sending more units up to the front line. Struggling to hold on to this and take it. Let's just make sure we take this fight. I need to get this. I need you guys to push along here. This guy has low organization, so we should be able to beat that down nice and quick. Leave behind the Mountaineers for some simple defense. Okay, we are almost able to push up to the city. All we need to do is use our tanks. There they go. We get that. That's going to be huge. More civilian factories are available. Excellent. I think I keep building civilian factories, believe it or not. Yeah, let's have another tank get down here. I need 3 tanks. An army stockpile capture. Excellent. We're already pretty low on equipment, so every little bit that we can steal is pretty important. I'm going to try to punch around here. See if we can surround some of these guys. Let's send some cavalry to assist. There's dispersed industry for what little it's going to do me. September of 1937. We could start working on the computing machine. It would be a bit aggressive to do that. I think we'll go ahead and start researching the medium tanks. We actually have a nice research boost. I guess alternatively, I could not go for mediums and instead expect to go for light tanks level 3, but we're going to go ahead and research those medium tanks. At some point, I'm going to want it. Let's see if we can do a push here. I'm going to send cavalry along this way to try and disrupt supply lines. We're going to send tanks along here as well to assist, so we have more focused fire. There's the investments. Now we need to start getting an organization desperately. I'll go for this. That gets me some much-needed population. We are running low on fuel once again. Hold up. That's because I ran... Yeah, that's fine. Who else can get me some? British Raj. I'm going to have to use convoys. We're just going to have to accept that. Let's just start trading for some oil and try to keep my fuel reserves up and running. I need these tanks to work at all times. All right, here we go. So this is going to work along here. Then we would be pushing probably down along this way. Hold up. Can you guys push along here? Have you guys basically break through and try to disrupt here. All going according to plan. You guys reinforce. So far, so good, honestly. This is going kind of what I would want them to do. Have you get down here and help. We really need to take this city. That's very important. These guys are surrounded and gonna die. Excellent. Now we take tank down here and go and assist from a different direction. You pin this guy down so he can't reinforce. Now we're attacking from multiple directions here. We move here, disrupt their supply lines by simply stealing the railway. These guys will have no supply in their trade... sorry, I keep saying trade hubs. Supply hubs. Attack from this direction. Pin this guy down so he can't reinforce anybody. Tanks, attack. Cavalry, assist. Get up over here. And then once again, we need to continue tightening up these lines and stick to the railways as long as we can. The fun thing about, honestly, this war, to me, in the practice that I have done, is it really is a testament to how you can win wars just by controlling supply and logistics. Like, it feels like logistics didn't matter that much back in the day, but they really matter now. You've got to manage your logistics. You've got to control that. If you can outmaneuver your opponents in that way, you're in a really good spot. Hey, more defections. These are things I wanted to see. Our artillery gets a boost. We're about to snag this. That's a supply hub. More desertions. And they lose a bunch of equipment, and we get more units. That's what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. That is what I'm shooting for. Fan-flippin-tastic. Yeah, see, this is what I like to see. Look at those red exclamation points. These guys are never going to get their organization. They're just not. And knowing that, I'm actually comfortable pulling back some troops further over here just so we can tighten up this line. Make sure we are holding on to the areas that matter. Over here, by the way, one thing I like to do with my cavalry if we can, as much as I want to follow the railway, and we will, if I have some spares, all we have to do is just pop down over here and we can get a small encirclement. Also, if we are able to push all the way over here, well then, even if we are fighting off in this direction, let's just send one cavalry and very rapidly punch down here, and simply taking one line of the train tracks further down is going to cause a load of issues upstream. I mean, that's the way to go. So these guys are going to get encircled. Boom, done. And then these guys are going to pop up over here and take Ufa, and all of a sudden these guys have no supply. And who cares that we're having trouble taking it? We'll win. This is what I'm talking about. It's really, really nice. Now, I do, of course, want to kick these guys out, take over the railroad myself, because this is going to be a crucial area for me to get supplies. So we'll have to keep doing that, but that's fine. The tank is continuing to move. We still have 0 fuel to work with, and as much as I hate having to use up... Oh, we apparently can't get any convoys here. As much as I hate to use up my civilian factories, we have to do it. Let's try trading with, let's say, the Dutch East Indies for a little bit of oil over here. And maybe... Where can we get some that the Soviet Unions aren't going to stop me? Maybe the British Raj, even if it's not the most effective. Because their superior navy is preventing me from getting much. Here we go. Oh, okay. Almost lost Ufa. Hang on. Send some reinforcements up this way. Actually, go ahead and take the railroad. Then we can turn around and win that fight, and these guys will be encircled in the meantime. Ha ha ha. Look at that. Tanks, keep moving forward. I know we have no supply. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. We got supply a heck of a lot more than they do, that's for sure. You get up over here, snag Perm. I think that's going to be an important trade hub as well. More enemy desertions. Supply hub. Jeezums. Why am I unable to say supply hubs? It's really hard, apparently, for me to believe that supply hubs exist and not trade. Gosh dang it. Okay, we have strength in the mobilization plan. Let's go for... I mean, we could do Cossacks, which amazingly actually would be good for the Civil War, but long term, I think I'd rather just go for straight out more division organization. The extra speed will be nice, though. And notice that there's no troops defending over here, so I can start using cavalry to start pushing super aggressively deep into enemy front lines and start snagging all those railways. And there's really not a whole lot they're going to be able to do against me at this point. They're going to try to move around, but as long as we keep sending in some reinforcing infantry to hold that ground, we'll be fine. Let's go ahead and push up this direction, try to snag this railway over here. We were able to get into Perm, cool. How about we send a tank division over this way, and we'll try going that way. That's going to be another tiny little encirclement. These guys are going to go bye-bye, which will free up a lot more units. And here we go once again. Let's push up this way and sneak around, try to take over here, grab the railways, so these guys have no support, never mind. Didn't quite work. The larger and more snaky our front lines get, the harder it's going to be to do much of anything, but so far we're looking all right. Can I please get a tank up this way and a cavalry to go up over here, again, snagging the railway so that these guys have nothing. Some railway radio is done. Excellent. Let's go ahead and start working on the computing machine if it is a little bit ahead of time. We can modify the government. You know, I would really love to start getting some army experience. I'd love that. Military theorist for a doctrine cost will be great at some point, but right now I think we go ahead and get probably you for division speed? We'll probably get better people later is the thing. Is it worth spending this? Or is it worth instead saving up? I think we go for conscription law. Yeah, I think actually we are going to hold off, save up political power, go for conscription law, because without the Soviets' massive manpower buffs, we're actually going to start having problems with our manpower at some point. Right now we're okay, but it's going to be at some point an issue. Let's go ahead and start pushing up this way. I mean, we've completely crossed the Ural Mountains, and look at them making no progress over here, or over here, because they know that there's no point. The Soviets aren't going to do anything over there. That's why I feel comfortable leaving those armies completely exposed. And then we're going to start pushing up to Kazan. I mean, we're almost at a really good spot. Where's, like, Stalingrad? There it is. We could freaking push down to Stalingrad. They've got nothing defending, guys. They got nada. Let's go ahead and grab both of those railways and stuff. You could probably push this, frankly. No, you can't. Never mind. It's fine. Who cares? We're just going to use the cavalry and snag your railways so these guys have no supply. Again, like, the Civil War shouldn't be that bad if we have comparable-ish numbers, and I think a lot of people would be tempted to just get rid of all the cavalry, but, like, in my opinion, the cavalry are actually really good here. They don't take fuel, and we are using these to absolutely obliterate the supplies. Now, here's where we start getting some of our first rounds of nationalism. The Republic of Kyrgyzstan. There they are, right down here. We could say, let's be friends, right? And they're gonna give us military access, we get military access, or we can just go to war with them right now. I'm gonna do it. They're gonna be distracted fighting the USSR right now anyway, and once this war is done, I'm just gonna take all my armies and I'm gonna reconvene and we're gonna just obliterate this small nation. This is gonna start happening more and more often, by the way. We're gonna probably see like 3 or 4 of these fire off before the end of things, but we'll see. There's the cohesion first. Let's go for rehabilitated military, which is going to get that organization back up, plus recovery rate and reinforce rate, both of which are going to be very helpful. You have pushed too far. Let's go ahead and pull back a minute. We're going to try to go for a surround here at Engels, and then send all of you guys to push along here, grab Saratov. Let's go ahead and clear some of this nonsense out so we don't have to worry about it. Tank's trying to get up to the front, but it's not going to matter in a minute. Here we go, here we go. And he's got nothing on his western front. Nothing, because too many of his armies at this point have deserted. So you know what we do? We send cavalry, and we start making our push directly to Moscow. I know that sounds aggressive. It is. It doesn't matter, because he's got nothing defending around Moscow. Absolutely diddly. This is our opportunity to obliterate, and the faster we end this, the better. The less of these rebellions and nationalistic things we have to worry about. More nationalist uprisings. Dagestan, that's probably fine. They are this tiny little nation right over here. Honestly, that's not all that bad. Still pushing over here. We're getting somewhere, dang it. I think we missed out on a piece of railroad. Let's fix that just so we can technically have some more supply coming on. There we go. So these guys are almost there, and they're supplied. The cavalry are fine, dude. They're fine. Let's go ahead and push up this way, also heading up toward Moscow. Let's have you push down to the south and grab some of these points. We are almost at Stalingrad. Let's see if we can take it. Nope, not quite. Okay, tell you what. Change of plans. You move over here and encircle them. We have medium tanks. We can go ahead and go for another upgrade, but we're a fair bit ahead of time if I do that. Let's instead go for the extra soft attack on all my units. All going well so far. How close are they? Current wars. Russian Civil War. It says that they're only 44% of the way towards capitulation. I don't believe it, if I'm being honest. I don't really believe it. We'll get Stalingrad, and I think that alone will be a big boost to us. Kyrgyzstan has risen up, okay. I mean, the more of these guys that fire off, though, I think, technically speaking, the more likely that the Soviets will have to capitulate. Another army stockpile, every one of those helps. More army desertions. Yeah, we just keep going, man. We just keep going. Up, up, up. Okay, I took Kiev, and that was it. We just technically took over 146 states. They had almost no equipment to work with, which means my stockpile is garbage. But okay, we're back under control, which means now all I need to do is reorganize my army and deal with the 3 little upstart nations that have thought they had an opportunity to break free from the USSR. All right, step 2, win the Civil War. Done. We now have a limited time window to start desperately building up a meaningful economy and get ready to resist the Germans. That's step 3. Okay, I'm gonna end this video here. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If so, I would ask you to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.